Hello, Jefferson families. Mr. Briggs here. Hopefully, you enjoyed your Thanksgiving break and after. So, last week we talked about potassium and how that kind of works with our bodies and how bananas and there's some other fruits and vegetables and foods that are good for you. So, today, what are we talking about? We're talking about bones. The bones in your body right there. Oh no, I broke a bone. That's what we're going over today. So we're going to have some information. The two videos I found are awesome. Tons of information on bones. So let's go over it, shall we? Bones and skeletal. Our bones and skeletal structure. Skeletal structure is kind of like the overall of the body. See the skeleton here? Skeletal structure. That's what it looks like. Our main requirement for our bodies to be able to move. Without our bones, we would be more like a slug, just a bag of blood, fluids, and skin. So we kind of just be mush. When we are born, we have over 300 bones in the human body. But by the time we become adults, like Mr. Briggs, our bones combine, and now we only have 206. So we have a ton as babies, but they slowly start to form together to make one bone. So 206 bones at adulthood. Bones are in constant state of growth, and from the time we are born until around our mid-20s, by that time, we reach the age of 30. Our bone mass has achieved its maximum density. I'm going to read that again. That doesn't sound right. Bones are in constant state of growth from the time we are born until around our mid-20s. By the time we reach the age of 30, our bone mass has achieved its maximum density. So what does that mean? Mr. Briggs is over 30. That means his bones are good. They're done. They have grown to where they need to be. Now it's my job to keep them healthy. What's one way to do that? We'll go outside, get some vitamin D, get some sunshine. Or what was that thing we could take that was in milk? Calcium. If we get some calcium in our bodies, that also helps us stay strong. Bones are incredible. If you break a bone, it will try to repair itself and regrow. Sometimes it doesn't grow back in the right way, so that's why doctors have to put a splint or a cast over the broken bone area to make sure they grow back properly. Mr. Briggs has broken this thumb right here. I was playing baseball, hit it that way. This collarbone right here, one time. This collarbone right here, twice. I hurt myself a lot, and it all happened in the span of 3 months. Bad 3 months, I tell you what. Now, there are 6 major functions of the human skeletal system. It's the production of blood, for support, for protection, protect all those internal organs, for movement, can't move my arm up without the bones helping, and for the storage of ions and the use of endocrine regulation. Not worried about that right now. So, you have 26 bones in your foot, 27 in your hand, 27. Some bones help protect important organs in your body. For example, the rib cage. You have ribs right there on your belly. You can feel them. Slide them all down with your fingers. Helps protect your heart, liver, and lungs. Our body has 5 different types of bones. They're flat, short, long, irregular, and sesamoid. Sesamoid is kind of, if you take your hand right now and put it on top of your knee, you'll kind of feel your kneecap right there. Your kneecap is one, because the definition of a sesamoid bone is a bone that is inside a tendon when the tendon passes over a joint. So these bones are act as pulleys for the tendons to help flex or curl yourself. So what does that mean? Long story short, this bone is there to protect other bones. Kind of nice. Now, the inside of the bones are filled with marrow, which is the soft tissue. So the inside of bone has bone marrow. When bones are connected, they form a joint. There are several different types of joints: balls, sockets, pivots, hinge, and saddle joints. Tons. So my fan to go this, joints, back, forth, all different types of tendons in there telling my hand to go that way. The brain is broken by 8 types of bones. Well, that's good. The longest bone in the body and the strongest bone in the body is called the femur. This is the thigh bone and is considered, like I said, the strongest bone. The thigh bone. So if you take your hand and go from your hip down to your knee, right there, that is one big bone called the femur. If you break that femur, you will be in pain. I had a friend in high school who did that. He wasn't very happy. You have to have a cast from your toesies all the way up to your hips. It kind of looks like a big diaper almost. Not good. The smallest bone in the body is actually located in the middle of your ear, right there. It is called the staples or stirrup, and it's only 0.1 inches long. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple little pieces of my pencil there on my lead. Like many parts of the body, our bones are constantly being worked and worn down and then remade again. It takes 7 years for the cells in the bones to regenerate. So literally, at every 7 years, we have a new bone. There are 54 bones in your hands, fingers, and wrists. This is a part of your body that has the most bones. So right here, most bones. You break your hand, you broke something. Like I said, I broke my thumb right in this area. I had to have a cast from here over, down, and around my thumb there. Couldn't really play baseball. Although our teeth are part of the complete skeletal system, they are not considered bones. So they're not bones. Fun fact. Males and females, boys and girls, have differences in their skeletal system. The male skeletons are usually larger, and the female skeletons are usually a little bit smaller. Females have different shapes in the pelvic bone, so that is wider and bigger hips. Almost all of our bones have a strong outer layer that is dense and an inside layer that is spongy. The very center is flexible, soft tissue. That's called bone marrow. So bone marrow. Both calcium and vitamin D, which I told you about, are important to help keeping healthy, strong bones. The parts of the bones, let's move on to that. Let's keep moving. Some fun skeletal facts. I like these ones. We know about the longest bone, hands, our teeth. Yes, bone marrow, joints. We know about those. The medical branch of learning. So if I want to be a bone doctor, that is called a orthopedic. So if you hear someone called an orthopedic surgeon, they fix bones. So for example, let's say Mr. Briggs has a arm right here. And if I break my arm, ow, I fall, sometimes the bone just stays inside my body. And they can put a cast on it, whoosh, leave it there for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then they take it off, and now my hand's feeling okay. But an orthopedic doctor, orthopedic surgeon, sometimes bones break and the bone sticks out. That's not going to repair itself. That bone sticking out is not going to magically go, oh, I'll go back inside your skin. So they have orthopedic surgeons that will take that bone, push it back in, put a bunch of screws in your arm, which go into your bone, attach it, and then they fix your arm. So then maybe in a couple months, you can move your arm again. So orthopedic surgeons, pretty cool guys because they can fix your body. Real cool. So right here, we just have another little picture of our body. We're going to go over some of these bones next week. We'll talk about the head, the ribs, the legs, the femurs, the tibia, the fibula, all those fun stuff. So for right now, I want you guys to be rad. You know what rad is? Take your thumb, put it up. In your arm, you have 2 big bones right here, the radius and the ulna. The radius right here, this bone on top, goes to your thumb. That means you're rad. That's how you know. Radius is rad. Ulna. Radius, rad. Ulna. Be rad, guys. See you soon.